This right here is my first pair of IEMs I've ever tried, and honestly, I am completely surprised by how good they are. And for the price of just $24, there is a lot to like, but there are some things that are just kind of annoying. Just a quick note, I am going to be reviewing this from a gamer's perspective instead of one from an audiophile. There are already tons of different reviews out there already doing that. Specifically, I will be talking more about competitive gaming, but I will also mention some other things as well. But let's get right into it. So these right here are the KZ ZSN Pros. Now, inside the box, you're gonna get the IEMs with ear tips along with some extras in case they don't fit your ears. You're also gonna get a cable with some additional papers. Taking a closer look at the IEMs themselves, you do get a metal faceplate with a cool design on it that some may or may not like. It does use 2-pin connectors which stick out a bit, designed to work with their cable for a better grip. The rest of the body is made of plastic, allowing you to see the inside of it and all of the drivers. The color completely depends on what you choose when you buy it, so I picked the purple version because it was the quickest to ship, but there is a couple options you can choose from. Towards the back of the IEM, you'll notice that there's a name written on it with classic upgrade because it is an upgraded version of a pre-existing KZ earbud. So that's pretty much everything about the earbud itself, but let's talk about the cable. The version I picked up came with a mic, and the cable is made of hard rubber or a rubberized plastic. The cable is braided, and the braid is actually pretty cool. The splitter is made of the same material as the jack, and it holds up pretty well. Now, while I did say the main cable is solid, if we do follow it all the way down to where it splits into separate left and right sides, the quality kind of falls apart as the twists aren't exactly even on both sides, which can make it tangle a bit. But for a $24 IEM, it's not too bad. And if you don't even need the mic, you can get it for even cheaper for just 20 bucks. But since I did pay for the $25 version, I do get a microphone which is pretty basic. It's got a mic hole for inputs and also has a button for pausing and playing. As for the 2-pin jacks, you actually do get them on ear hooks that are already curled, which I personally like because I don't have to stress about them losing their shape. Setup is also very easy because all you got to do is line up the pins and plug it in. Telling which is the left and right on the IEMs is pretty obvious the moment you kind of look at them and put them into your ear. You can also only wear it in one particular way, which is to take this ear hook, wrap it behind your ear, and put it on. Now, something that did surprise me is that they don't stick out all that much and they actually feel really comfortable even though they're quite bigger than some other IEMs. Now, when it comes to sound. So for gaming with these guys, they do have a smaller soundstage and it's definitely more on the intimate side. But that isn't to say that there isn't a soundstage, it's just small. This makes it a lot better for competitive gaming, especially shooters where you really want to hear things and always be aware of where people are, even if they're kind of far away. With a smaller soundstage, you can quickly figure out where people are and you'll still get a sense of distance with these guys. One important aspect to consider about these headphones is the sound signature. The sound signature of these headphones is commonly referred to as a V-shape, which can mean that you can expect enhanced bass and treble frequencies. In practical terms, this means that deep and high-pitched sounds will be more pronounced, particularly when it comes to gaming. Initially, I was concerned about the recessed mids of these headphones, but surprisingly, they were not as problematic as I anticipated. I was still able to accurately detect the whereabouts of other players based on their footsteps and gunshots. These also still provide positional audio cues without demanding excessive attention, which can be quite comforting when playing for a long time. Now, when it comes to imaging, the KZ ZSN Pros are pretty solid. They're not completely spot-on accurate, but they're accurate enough. And honestly, I actually like the fact that these things don't scream positional audio to me. With the KZ ZSN Pros, the sound cues were loud enough to always catch my attention without distracting me. So for people who are usually attentive to audio cues, these are going to be a lot better for that because they're not going to make you paranoid in the battle and make you sit around because you heard someone moving and turns out it was your own teammate. Anyway, I want to talk about the signature of these guys being V-shaped, which is also known as a more fun sound signature. It makes a lot of music that most people listen to more enjoyable because it gives you this different feeling. Another thing about the sound signature with these guys is that sound signatures and audio cues are very game dependent. Though most competitive shooters are going to be very mid-centric when it comes to audio cues, certain other games might need to hear the bass more for explosions where the bass is needed to hear and find these things. There is only really one thing that is quite annoying is when you're trying to talk. If you're someone who plays a lot of multiplayer and you're usually in voice calls, you're going to realize that your voice sounds blocked. This effect also happens when you're using noise cancelling headphones, and honestly, I am not too sure how you can work around it. I've been trying to do some research on possible solutions, but I really haven't found anything significant. So if you do know anything about how to fix this, please let me know in the comments below, but for now, this is going to be a problem for a lot of people. Which honestly, this is really only the one downside I have found. If you have ever tried gaming headphones at this exact same price range, you're going to know that most of them just sound straight up awful. But with cheaper IEMs, they give you a very solid hearing experience, which blows pretty much all cheaper gaming headphones out of the picture. Overall though, these IEMs are super solid, and if you're looking looking for a new pair of headphones, I would actually try and consider checking out IEMS too. Especially if you're on the budget side, these are going to sound so much better than most other options. But with that, I hope you enjoyed. Peace.